Let's talk to him and see what he's been up to.
MGK!
Yo, what's
There he
happening,
is.
my man? How's it going? So what you been up to, my man? I forgot how tall you are. I mean, how tall are you? You're a big
6'4".
6'4". You're a huge guy.
I'm trying to play for the Cavs.
Yeah. Well, in the past, you might have been able to. Now that LeBron's back, we probably don't need you any longer. I see a big weed tattoo, it looks like, on your knee. Is this new, or is that?
I've had that.
You've had that. Have you gotten any new tattoos lately?
I tattooed suspenders on my body.
Yeah, all right. Let's see this. Oh, all right.
Oh, I've never seen that before.
So what gives you the inspiration to get these tattoos when you decide you're going to get suspenders? How do you even come up with that one?
Well, I always grew up like a punker and I just always loved like the hooligan look, so I just decided to put it permanently on me.
That's what's so interesting about you. We've talked about that in the past, that you were into that kind of stuff, and then you end up doing rap, which is unusual. If you had a choice, if you could go, forget hip-hop, forget rap, I could do punk rock or hip-hop/rap, which one would you pick?
I would probably just stick with rap because of my voice isn't strong enough to sing if I'm not hitting notes like how like an Eddie Vedder is, or
then
like
you don't
Chris
even want to do
Cornell,
it.
then I don't even want to.
So you think your talent is really in
But
rapping?
I would love to put out like a rock EP. I would just do it my way. And I mean, the cool thing about punk rock though is that you don't have to be like it's all about attitude. It's like less about what's actually being played.
Yeah. You're here for a movie premiere. What is this movie? What is this?
It's called Beyond the Lights.
And what's it about?
It's a love story about, and it's also kind of a coming of age story as far as of a pop star.
Yeah.
Who doesn't know how to handle fame, and I'm like the bad love interest, right?
So you're perfect for that, right?
Exactly.
I mean, that's why they'd cast you in this thing.
Yeah.
They go, what guy can we get that we wouldn't want our daughter to date? Machine Gun Kelly. Let's get him.
You know what's crazy? I think it was actually originally, it was written for a black guy to play the role. And then, but I just constantly came in and kept auditioning. And from the jump, they had said, like, I think Machine Gun Kelly might be able to pull that off. And I just went to auditions. I went to 5 different auditions during tour. So I would fly into LA and then do the audition and then fly right back for the show.
Oh, wow.
And
so that's a bit, I mean, that's hard.
Yeah. It was a long process.
How did you even hear about this movie? Your agent or someone says to you they're casting a movie and you might be good for the part? Yeah,
well, I've been doing auditions for Now You See Me, the movie Now You See Me that was released a couple years ago, the Magic movie.
The Magician movie.
The Magician movie, yeah, originally.
Okay.
That was the first callback for a movie I ever got, and I was originally supposed to be Dave Franco's role, but he ended up getting the role. So that was like the first movie. So that was 2 or 3 years ago, and then ever since then I had constantly been doing auditions, and Beyond the Lights was the first movie, and I got lucky and got a theatrical release, a big major.
Yeah, I mean, this is not some fly-by-night movie. This is like a big movie.
Yeah.
And so where do they film this? In L.A.? That's where they filmed it?
In L.A., I think in Mexico, and then somewhere else.
When you're going for these auditions, are you nervous when you go in there?
Yeah.
Because this is out of your realm of expertise, really. I mean, you're an entertainer in a sense. You know how to get up there on stage, do stuff, and even beyond stage. There's more these days to being an entertainer. You have to have your hand in all sorts of different things. Just like with this radio show, it's more than just radio. You have to, that worked 20 years ago, but you have to have your hand in a little bit of everything. But still, that doesn't translate necessarily to good acting per se. So, what do they have you do when you go in there? What are you expected to do?
With that particular role, she knew exactly who she wanted the character to be. She was like really specific, and it was kind of just all in her hands. But in other roles, like something that no one knows is Sons of Anarchy had offered us a role for their final season.
Oh yeah,
but it conflicted with the tour schedule because I had went in months and months and months ago and auditioned for them. But that was the weirdest audition because I walked in and it was like a row of like 9 people, and usually when you go in it's just like the casting director and a person holding the camera, and this time you go in and it was like Kurt Sutter, who is responsible for the whole series, and his whole team, and it was just really awkward. In a good, in a good way, obviously. And
do you get nervous when you're doing these things? I mean, do you get?
I would drink beforehand.
I do
Rover.
drink. I do drink beforehand.
So you do drink.
Yeah.
You can just take the edge off a little bit. Yeah,
definitely.
And
do you know what role you're gonna play? Like if you were in Sons of Anarchy?
Yeah. Did you watch the season 7 premiere?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The guy playing opposite Marilyn Manson.
Oh, okay.
The guy playing.
Dude, you should have got that.
Yeah.
Marilyn Manson, Courtney Love's in this season.
I haven't seen
MGK, possibly.
Carmelo
you should have been.
Could have been. Yeah. So you finally land this role. You go for a few different auditions for this, I guess, and then who calls you and tells you that you've landed this movie role?
My agent called me on this one, and I remember where I was at. I was on 36 in St. Clair when I got the call.
And he says, "You got it," or what does he say?
Yeah, she was like, "You got the role."
I would just dick with you. I'd be like, "Hey, like, they really didn't, they weren't feeling it really, but and then throw it out at you. Did they ever do that, or she just tells you right off?
No, I'm so thirsty. I call like every day when I'm waiting for a role.
Do you get paid any decent amount of money, or you're not doing it for the money?
No, definitely not at this point. I'm just kind of earning my stripes in the movie industry at this point, so I wouldn't say I've received any insane check from a movie yet.
Yeah.
But I've done 2 movies since then, so two movies coming out in theaters next year.
And why is it that you want to get into movies? Is the stage stuff not enough? The music stuff not enough for you? You want to branch out, or what's drawing you to that?
I'm just in love with being an entertainer. And I like to expand the culture and push the culture, and also like do things that we were told we couldn't do from a city where we're at. Yeah. It's really, like that was, and also another cool thing was the friends that are in my movie are my friends in real life. I got them to put that. I got them to put one of our songs like in the movie that have other Cleveland artists on it. So I was just pushing for it. Then we brought the premiere to Cleveland.
Which is, let me see, I have the info right here. The premiere there's a hometown screening tonight, 7:30, Cinemark Valley View, which is actually right down the street from here. Yeah. Danny Glover is in this movie.
Yeah, yeah.
Minnie Driver is in this movie.
I think she's hot.
She's a little older, but she's not bad looking, right?
I don't know what it is, but she's hot to me.
Like a MILF.
Yeah, and we were on set. You know what's ill? She's full on ballet dancer.
Yeah.
Which I did not know. So she was on set just doing like...
She can get up on her toes and twirl and all that kind of crap?
She busted a vertical split open on us.
Wow. Oh, man.
Like, hold my leg.
Yeah.
And then you were like, hold my penis, because I just got aroused.
God, dude. She's something about her.
Dude, that would be sort of a thing. You start dating someone like that, just sort of way out of your normal thing. You do that. Just get on all the tabloids. That could be good for you. So you're excited. And then when does this actually come out, like all over? So next Friday it comes out all around the nation, and it's called Beyond the Lights. So how long did it take to shoot the movie?
Couple months.
So you were involved in this for a couple of months, but you're still on tour and stuff, right?
Yeah, I was in and out, and then I broke my foot also when they thought the movie was wrapped, and then they had to go back and do some reshoots, so we had to like fake it.
They put on like a big fake shoe. I've seen them do that. Like the person actually has a cast on, but then what they do is they will actually just paint that cast to look like the person's shoe, and when it's on film, because they're kind of far away or they're walking, you don't really see it as much, I guess. Is that what they did with you?
No, they would just do it. They just kept faking like waist up shots and like faking me standing up.
How'd you break your foot? Is this going to be?
I broke it on April Fool's Day.
Is this going to be some crazy story? And it's going to be, I was drinking and I got some coke from P. Diddy, and then I had this orgy, and I was running from all these chicks because they were trying to bang me some more, and I jumped off a roof into a pool, and I mean, what? It's got to be something like that.
Okay, it's the lamest story ever, but the cool thing out of the I just jumped up and fell wrong, but it was on April Fool's Day.
So you jump up, just standing there.
I was playing basketball, and it was so lame. Yeah. But so I went to the hospital. It was April Fool's Day. They told me my foot was broken. I'm like, ha. It's April Fool's Day. I get it. I guess you're doing that to all the patients. It was extremely broken. It was like snapped. The bone was snapped. There was like 4 fractures. But the cool thing about the broken foot, because I went on tour 3 days after it broke, and it like never healed. So it was like a bad idea. But hopefully everyone enjoyed the shows. But we had I met Kate Hudson at a party, and like she came up to me because I had a broken foot, and I was extremely out of place. And that was cool.
Do you hate going to, or do you enjoy going to parties like this? I'll tell you something. When I go to sometimes
Hollywood parties,
yes, people invite me to stuff, and I feel so awkward. Like for instance, I'll go to these parties, and it's like a bunch of athletes, guys that play for the Browns or the Indians or something, and they're all 6'4", big buff guys talking about whatever. It's crap that I am just not interested in, really, and you just feel like such a loser, don't you?
I'm definitely in the loser category. I feel I go straight to the bar.
Yeah, it's awkward.
You know who was there? The guy from Twilight was there.
Ryan or Robert Pattinson.
This wasn't my party, man.
Yeah,
like, this isn't my.
No. You need all those dirty sluts and just champagne and God knows what you're doing at all these things.
Yeah. Oh, dude, the hookup girl was hot. I saw her.
Yeah, she's not bad. She might de-virginize this guy out there. This guy's filling in. He drove all the way from Chicago to audition.
Dude, I heard your police story, dude.
Yeah.
What'd you think of it?
What'd you think, Machine Gun Kelly?
What are you guys calling it? True?
It is true. I just told it real fast, but that was true. They were on some BS. They were troopers, too.
I love Machine Gun Kelly's like, that's this guy. This is a police story. Oh, you got pulled over and got a warning? I mean, Machine Gun Kelly's like, police story.
It was like a coupon they gave me. I ripped it up.
He's like, I can tell you some police stories, please.
Yeah.
Hey, so
I can.
Speaking of which, you've I haven't heard you do anything ridiculous or stupid in the news lately. By design or what?
I have so many lawsuits, dude. So yeah, that's by design. I'm just being good as I possibly can.
So you've gotten a little older, a little wiser, and you've you're not doing anything crazy like that anymore.
But I mean, the last day of tour on Halloween, we had got messed with by the police.
Over what?
Over weed. I don't know. Who knows?
Smoking weed?
Yeah, I mean, but they tried to make it something in a way bigger, but there was nothing but weed.
How many times have you been arrested?
I don't even know. I've been put in a cop car so many times. I don't know.
But have they actually ever arrested you? You spent time in jail and stuff.
Yeah.
One time you got arrested, I think down in Florida. We talked about or something.
Yeah, that time was crazy. It looks crazy in Florida jails. Yeah. Everyone got gold teeth and huge dreads. It's wild.
So when Bieber was in that Florida jail after he got down there, they were probably looking at him crazy, huh?
Yeah, they're probably looking at him like meat, like candy.
So what else you been up to? You working on a new album, I understand?
Yeah, second album's almost done. And then I've just been kind of gearing up to come back out as just a new person or something, just, like a 2.0, just something to...
I know you weren't happy. You didn't tell this to me, but I could tell. You weren't happy with the way everything went down with this first major release of yours. I know you weren't, and I could tell. But is that because... Why weren't you happy? What is it? You feel that you didn't control it enough, or do you feel that you didn't listen to the advice that people gave you?
It was both, man. I had a real hard head. I messed up a lot of things as far as, like, you know what it is? I just gotta accept it or do something about it and make it happen. But rock and roll is dead, man, and that includes the attitude too. Do you know what I mean? It's just people don't want a real rock star anymore. Everyone wants something planned and safe and something that's like politically correct.
All of these big corporations own all of this stuff, and when a guy like you comes out and you jump up on something at the Microsoft store and you go crazy, here's what they see. They don't go, oh, wow, look, we're in every paper. That's great. That's my mentality. I go, I'll go out there. I'll shoot you right now if it gets me some press. I don't care. I'm all for it. But they look at it and they go, someone could have, fallen over and cracked their skull and sued us for $600,000. And, that's all they care about is that kind of stuff, Things may change, though, as the internet gets, at least in my industry, and with yours has gone a huge change as well. Once you get to be a big enough guy, you can write your own ticket. You don't have to mess with these people, but getting to that point is what the challenging thing is. Like for instance, in radio, eventually in a few years, we're pretty close. The technology will exist. Everyone in your car will be able to get internet radio. You won't need to have a radio station. Like if you wanted to buy this radio station, it would cost you $20 million. You won't need that. You'll be able to get into everyone's car in the future, relatively soon. But what good is that going to do if no one knows who you are?
Dude, the future sucks.
You don't like the future.
I don't like the future at all.
You want to go back?
Yeah, I don't like it at all. I hate cell phones. I hate what they've done to us. I hate like that. You know how cell phones did it put like celebrities on this huge pedestal that's just not existent.
When you are doing a show and you see everyone in the audience and they're looking at you on their cell phone as they're recording,
I kick them.
Yeah, I mean, honestly,
kick the cell phones.
What are you going to do with this cell phone? You're never going to go back and watch that, right?
At all, dude. No, that's why I don't understand. I'm just like, dude, feel the moment, man.
Yeah.
And like that, you
agree.
scare me away in person when I'm walking down the street and you come up with a phone.
Yeah.
You just like that. You could walk 15 blocks with me and talk with me if you just put the phone down.
You know, I don't mind people taking pictures. I mean, if you take a picture, you go on vacation, you want to remember where you were or whatever, that's fine. But these people who go to concerts and they just sit there with videotaping the whole thing. I've actually seen, and the audio is garbage because it's so loud. And your phone, it's absolutely terrible. It's just, you know, it's. I don't know what people.
Me and Limp Bizkit didn't let people do that during our shows.
No, you were just on tour with them, right?
Yeah. We were strictly like, you know, no self, like put that shit.
How was that? How was touring with Limp Bizkit? I'll tell you something about Limp Bizkit. So, Fred Durst. I don't know who I told this story to. I don't think it was you. I told the story to someone that was in here. Fred Durst, when Limp Bizkit was huge, was the biggest dick in the world. I mean, just an absolute douche, okay? He was hard to deal with. He'd, interview. He was just an ass. Then everyone goes, oh, Limp Bizkit sucks. You know, the whole rap rock thing just kind of fizzled up overnight. Oh, my God, did this guy have a transformation if I ever saw one.
Nicest guy in the world?
Oh, he became the nicest guy
Your
in
best
the
friend.
world. And he did admit to me, he goes, you know what, looking back, I was a jerk. At least this is what he told me. I don't know if it was sincere or not, but it seemed like he realized that he might have overplayed his hand. He might have been a dick.
He was really nice when I was there.
Yeah.
West Borland was a little
what? A little just standoffish.
Yeah, man. Yeah. And then I had asked to work after, and he had, he like declined, and it's just like.
What do you mean asked to work after?
I was like, well, let's do an insane collaboration here. Let's do a song. You know what I mean? Let's give like the people what they want.
And he didn't want to do that.
Yeah.
Well, and you were probably offended by that to some degree, like.
Yeah. Dude's a kook.
Yeah. Should have kicked his ass, man. Add one more lawsuit to the pile.
Yeah, dude.
So how long have you been working on this second studio album that you've been working?
I mean, 2 years since the last one.
How's this one going different than the first one?
Because it's all me, and I haven't even talked to the label in 2 years.
And do you think they'll be okay with that? Do you think they're going to give you the support that you need?
I don't know, man, but I mean, it's like the same views that I have, like, with the government. It's way more people than there is demand. So as far as I'm concerned, like, the people can make anything happen.
When is this
If I'm outside your office with 500 kids, what are you going to say, no?
Yeah. When does this come out? Or do you know yet?
First quarter, probably.
So the first quarter. So we're not long. It's not far away. So you're almost done with the entire.
I think
thing.
like this, this tour and the movie is kind of like this rebirth of, me coming back out on the scene.
I think here's what I think people might have thought about you when you first came out, and I met you plenty of times. You're an intelligent guy. I think people thought you were
not.
Yeah, I think people thought you were crazy, that you were a lunatic.
I think so, too.
And there's nothing wrong with thinking that. You want to have a little bit of that, but I think some people were, these stories, they'll catch on, and then promoters will go, I don't know if I want to have this guy come out and do the, pay this guy $100,000 or whatever to do a show, and is he going to kick someone in the face or whatever, Yeah. So you're trying to, I guess not maybe... Look, you are who you are. You're not going to you're not going to wear a tuxedo on your next record or whatever, but you're trying to reinvent yourself a little bit.
It's basically like this, man. Like I am a lunatic and I am psycho and I have like weird things that I'm into and I'm always emotionally unstable. But the one thing I got tired of was like being like looked at like a circus act. Like this one kid came up to me at a meet and greet and he goes, do something crazy at a meet and greet. It's 3:00 in the afternoon. I'm like, you know what I mean? I'm like, what do you want me to do? And then it just hit me like, dude, you think that's what you think I am? You think I'm like a monkey? You don't even look at me like you're waiting for me to like hang off something. You know what I mean? Right. And that's just not at all what.
If there was one thing that people who didn't know you, maybe they've only known about Machine Gun Kelly from stuff they've read, they've never met you. What do you think is one thing they would be surprised about if they actually got to know you as a person?
That I'm one of the biggest perfectionists and like nonstop working people. Like I edit almost all my videos.
You do all of that yourself?
Yeah, I do. Like I do a lot of. Like there is nothing else but Machine Gun Kelly to me. Like there is no other time except for with my daughter. You know what I mean? And even my daughter is like really into the whole. You know, she helps me
into constantly. The MGK brand, basically. Yeah,
that's like all.
She was in here. Your daughter. How old is she now?
She's 5.
5 years old.
Yep.
So she must have been. This must have been a couple of 2 years ago.
Dude.
That she was in
2 years.
What about you personally? You have a girlfriend now, or what's your story?
Dude, nah, man. I'm trying to go to the strip clubs and see what's up.
Yeah. Do you not want to date anyone?
No, I do. I had one, a crazy hometown one, and she, you know, I was just a piece.
Yeah.
Of
what do you
SH.
mean you were a piece of SH? Why? What'd you do?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know how I messed this up because she was cool. She was cool with everything. She was cool with me being crazy on the road and doing my thing out there.
And even doing like other chicks while you're on the road and stuff.
She was down with doing other chicks with me.
Oh.
How did you? That's what I'm like. I don't know how I messed that.
I just got done telling you how smart you are. Now I'm going to have to say you're a real idiot.
I know.
So what'd you do? How'd you screw it up? What drove her away?
I think just too many drunk calls of me trying to. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm like my man right here. I wasn't, you know, getting girls in high school or none of that stuff.
Yeah.
So I grew up my whole life with this complex of like, you're not good. I don't know, dude.
It is a weird thing,
to be completely honest, also, man, I can't have sex with the same, you know,
with the same girl forever,
for like
or an extended period of time,
3 times at most or something.
I remember reading about you hooking up with that porn star.
Yeah,
Rachel Starr.
Which one?
Rachel Starr, that really hot porn star.
Yeah.
He was getting oral on stage in front of the entire
crowd.
Oh,
wow.
Yeah.
Is that true?
Yeah, no, that was real, and I ejaculated as well.
Oh my God!
Okay.
On stage?
You climax right there on stage.
One of the hottest porn stars.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm reading about it, I'm like, damn, that bastard's nailing her.
Dude.
But he can only do her 3 times as to move on, right?
I think I only have had sex with her.
Yeah.
And it's great. It's insane.
Why not stay with her? Just
because she does her own thing. I'm a bird.
So you can't have sex with a chick more than 3 times. It's just you lose interest at that.
I don't know, man. I'm pretty gnarly as far as like sex. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It has to be someone like into some crazy stuff.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like that girl that you were talking about. She was into crazy stuff,
she
and
was
you
into
still.
it all, man. I messed it up, dude. I keep hitting her up too. She's just not on it.
No. She doesn't. You know, it is a weird thing. Like, like me, I was kind of, you know, I wasn't like a super dork. I wasn't like this guy in school. I wasn't that.
Obviously, man.
I wasn't like Ryan Hunt. But I wasn't like part of the in crowd necessarily. I wasn't like a huge dork. But then when you get into radio and the show gets bigger and bigger, and then chicks will like start throwing themselves at you.
Nice.
It's great in a sense, but then. It is sort of weird to deal with, and I'm sure it's multiplied times 1,000 with you, but it's weird to go from, as you probably were in high school, of not getting a bunch of chicks to now they all want to sleep with you.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. What's your deal? Are you going hard?
I've had the same girlfriend for the past a little over a year now, which is actually surprising to me because I'm kind of like you. I said. You know, I don't really want to date chicks. Why? I mean, I'm in a position that most guys would be envious of, where you can meet girls and they know who you are. They want to sleep with you.
Yeah.
Most guys have to really work in order to get laid. Chicks don't understand how friggin' difficult it is to get laid.
And have you ever hooked up in this radio station?
In the station?
Yeah.
We mean actually in?
Yeah. In the.
No, I have not. Not in this.
Have you ever hooked up with someone that you have interviewed in the station?
Yes.
Okay.
trying to think of who. I mean, I'm trying to think. I mean, I dated a porn star that I met on the show. I dated her for a year. Raylene. She was
Raylene. What's her?
Just Raylene. She
like redhead.
Yeah, kind of like a not dark skin. She's kind of like a half. I don't know what nationality she is, but
you've seen her, you would know.
Yeah. What was that like?
It was kind of like high school, basically, where she was a nice girl. She's a great girl, actually.
Okay.
But the whole porn industry, as you know from hanging out with girls that are into porn, it's really about, oh my God, do you know what so-and-so did? Do you know what she said? Can you believe that she said this? She's such a bitch and blah, blah, blah. The whole industry is like that. It's like going back to high school and dealing with gossip and all that kind of crap. I wasn't into it, you know. And she was into drugs and stuff at the time. I'm not into drugs.
Into the drugs.
They are crazy.
They're crazy into the drugs. Like,
and they'll all tell you that they're not. Oh no, we're not into drugs. Oh no, I was never molested as a kid. Every single friggin' one of them. I don't care what they tell you. They all had something crazy happen to them when they were a kid, and all into drugs. And she's actually the one that I did ecstasy with for the first time.
No way.
Yeah.
That's sweet. How old were you when you did ecstasy? Well, you can't be.
20. I was in my early 20s, like 23, 24, 25. I don't know, sometime. And so she gives me ecstasy, and I'm not an outgoing guy. You know, I don't know how you are. Like on the show, I can talk to people all day long, but when in private, I'm like kind of quiet, kind of shy. And so she gives me ecstasy. We go to this club. And I'm just like talking to friggin' everyone. Like I'm going up to random people. Hey, how are you? How's it going? There was a guy who had his head busted open. He got hit with a bottle. He was in the bathroom bleeding. And I'm like, I go up to the guy. I'm like, oh man, I'm so sorry. I'm
like nursing him back to health.
I go now. Most of the time, if I see some dude bleeding, I'm like, oh, Ebola, get the hell away from me, man. You're on your own, pal.
Right.
But I was just, I don't know what. I guess that's what drugs do. I've only done ecstasy two or three times.
And what happened after that? Did you guys have sex that night?
We had. I think so. I do remember being up until like 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
I think we had sex. I might not have been able to complete the deed.
Yeah,
I was going for an hour, and then you're like, oh, what the hell?
Hang it up. You give up.
Oh, that's the worst.
It is the worst, dude. I hate that, man. The whiskey.
Like Adderall, I've taken Adderall a few times.
Dude, that's so hard to have sex on Adderall, man.
Dude, here's the bad thing about Adderall. It makes you horny, and so at least me. And then you either want to bang a chick out or crank one out. So you start cranking it out. You go, oh, this isn't going to work. But at this point, you can't stop. You just can't give it up.
Yeah,
you know. So this is like a 40. I swear to God, it's been 45 minutes.
You're crazy.
Yes. So you're almost chafing.
I'm going through a whole bottle of lube. Yeah, it's crazy. And I don't take that very often either. Drugs are not really my thing. But you get into that stuff, right?
I have fun.
Yeah. How often are you doing drugs? I mean, if you were to take an average week, what are you doing in a 1 week period? Smoking weed every day?
Weed daily?
I mean, weed's like...
Weed to you doesn't even count.
Weed doesn't even count. Weed's like...
Smoke
weed
like, every day.
Exactly. Weed's like cigarettes to me. I can wake up in the morning and I was smoking before I got here.
Yeah.
What about coke?
I used to do hard drugs heavy, and then it really altered who I was as a person.
Yeah.
It like really, really altered.
What did it make you into a jerk or what?
First album process, it made me into it. Yeah, it made me into it.
So you were a jerk, basically.
It made me into a jerk. It made I because it literally was about to lose all my friends over it.
Yeah.
And I also had like some scary like close calls where I like was so messed up that I didn't even know like how to
where you were, what you were doing,
and it was like we had responsibilities the next day, and we can't even find where I'm at or what I'm doing or like.
Well, that's just all kind of a learning process. I mean, look, when someone says, "Hey, we're going to put you out. You're going to make an album. We're going to give you a little bit of money," you go, "Oh yeah, that's crazy." You go out, you party, you go wild. Then you realize there's more to this. I actually have to be at this interview tomorrow.
Yeah.
I actually have to be in the studio at 6 p.m. or whatever you have to do. It's not all fun and games. People have a lot of money they're paying you. They don't want to put up with that crap, you know?
Well, I'm like just learning about like going to bars with friends and drinking responsibly.
Not getting just completely
obliterated. Like I didn't know that you could do that. I thought it was just, I thought this whole time, these whole 24 years, I thought you had to get hammered, and I didn't even know that you could just go and cordially drink.
See, that's my problem. I don't do any drugs. I do drink, but not even a lot. Because when I do drink, I can't shut it down. I'll start, and it's just I can't go out and have 2 or 3. Once I have 2 or 3, I would. If you said to me, Rover, let's go out, let's have 2 beers, and you were ready to go,
I am ready to go.
I go, dude, come on, man, let's 3. Let's keep going, man. You can let's go, and it turns into 20. You know, that's why. I'm 39. I'm older than you. I kind of learned I just can't do it all the time anymore. You know, and
you're a heavy drinker. Aren't you?
Yeah, man. Yeah. I can't. I drink so much that I puke up blood, man.
He did. He had to go to the hospital. He had what is it, tear in your esophagus?
My esophagus puking so hard. Yeah. But I still, the next day I was drinking. Well, maybe the next couple weeks.
He was drinking after that.
They said take 6 months off. I waited 2 weeks and started.
Yeah, of course.
I have a lot of people on the phone. I just realized this. I have a lot of people on the phone that want to talk to Machine Gun Kelly. So we'll take some phone calls before we let him go, because I know he has other stuff to do. Machine Gun Kelly is here. His movie Beyond the Lights has a screening tonight, 7:30 p.m. at Cinemark Valley View. Danny Glover is in this. Minnie Driver is in this. You play the bad love interest of you're like the bad. So you're dating a pop star basically, and they want her to have a. I don't know what the movie is. They want her to have a squeaky clean image, but then she gets into you, and you're kind of like the bad influence.
So they like me actually because I'm famous in the movie. And she wants to have a squeaky clean. So so this is like.
So they're trying to
they're trying to make the good guys. They're trying to bring it back because right now all girls want, is thugs and
right.
You know.
All right, and that opens up a week from tomorrow in theaters everywhere. Let me go to Sean. You're on Rover's Morning Glory with Machine Gun Kelly. Good morning, Sean.
Yo, what's up, MGK?
Sean, what's up, man?
Rover, not much, man. I love you, homie. Been listening for a long time. Big fan.
Thank you.
But no, man, I just was wondering, like, I've been seeing in the news and gossip and stuff that, you might be tapping one of them Kendall Jenner or Kylie Jenner.
Tell me that's true. Tell me that's true.
Man, I'm trying to hear it, man.
Dude,
lie to me if it's. Just tell me that's true.
I bought them drinks and we had dinner.
And then after that, did you take which first?
The hot one is
one of
the
them
older
is
one.
so friggin' hot, man.
It's Kendall.
Kendall
is it Kendall? I thought it was Kylie.
Kylie's gorgeous if you love like big luscious lips and all.
Kendall is the one. Okay, Kendall's the one. Yes,
sexy and
super friggin' hot.
Ugh.
Yes.
Which one were you talking to?
I was just.
Why limit yourself to one Jenner?
No, come on.
Threesome, Jenner threesome. Why not? So did you do Kendall?
No,
you didn't. But you would if you could. Basically.
Oh, dude, I would. Yeah, I would do some. I would do some things that would make.
Which would you pick, Kendall Jenner or Kim Kardashian?
Kendall.
Yeah, me too.
Mm-hmm.
You think Kim is real hot? I don't think she's that hot.
I'm Kendall. I'm team Kendall.
This ass of Kim Kardashian, I think is too big. I'm not into that. You like that?
I like big ass.
You do.
I like big ass.
Yeah, I don't know.
But like, yeah, I like big ass.
Yeah.
I feel like I don't think I've ever ate a girl that had that big of an ass. So.
You never. Wait a second. You never. Let me think of how you could phrase.
Face
planted a girl.
Help me say it radio friendly. I'm sorry. I saw you. Rover keeps hitting the censor button every time. So I'm just like, I don't know what.
Let me see here. Let me go to. Let me see here. Let's go to Phil. You're on Rover's Morning Glory. Good morning, Phil.
Yo, what's up, Rover?
Yo, what's happening?
MGK, what's crapping, my man?
What's up, Phil?
Hey, real quick, you two are, pretty famous, and I'm just a normal person. My question was, how does it make you feel, if it does make you feel anyway, when these girls are coming up to you, throwing themselves at you? They're more or less doing it for your name and not you. Does it make you feel crummy? I mean, yeah, at one point you're like, yeah, I'm getting sex from all these girls, but does it make you feel less of a person because it's not really for you?
Man, that's a good question.
Yeah, it's definitely a fair question. What's your answer, Ro?
My answer is no. I look at it as it's just one more tool in my toolbox in order to get laid, as every guy would. Now, I will say this. So, look, they want something from me. I want something from them, the poon. Now, after that, it's up to you if there's a girl that you're actually interested in, like a girl I've been dating for over a year. That's not going to keep a girl around for a year, you know, or most likely.
Yeah.
So after that, it's up to you if you actually are into the chick or you want to have a relationship. It's, you know, the fame thing only lasts for a short period of time, in my experience.
Well, my answer is here. I need you to help me radio.
Okay,
phrases.
sure, yes.
What do you call it when you
explode? Sure.
Reach the top of the mountain.
Reach the top of the mountain. Climax.
Okay. So before I climax, I'm like, I don't care. I'm grateful for whatever reason it is that
that she's talking to you or she came up to you. Yeah.
And then after the climax, I like, especially on tour, I'm like, you know, because it's like over at 11 p.m.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then you have like the rest of the night, and then you're just like lonely. So I'm in a lonely point.
You are.
Yeah, I'm at a lonely point. I want a girl at this point.
It's hard because you're busy.
I want a girl who's with, you know, messing with other girls with me.
Sure,
I can't stop the promiscuity.
And you want a girl that is actually okay with it, not one that will just say she is because she wants to date you. There's a big difference there. I've had issues like that in the past, you know, but you know, when you're busy all the time, you're on the road, people think because you have fame that you're not lonely, but it can be a very lonely place.
Oh yeah, it's the loneliest out there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Machine Gun Kelly is in town. I just have time for one or two more calls here. Let me go to Kaylor, I think it is. I'm not sure what this name is. Good morning.
Hi, Rover. What's up?
Hi.
Hi, MGK.
Hi.
I just want to say that you're like the best role model ever. Like, I couldn't ask for a better hero than you. I love you so much. Like, you've got me through so much stuff, and I just love you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Does that inspire you? Let me tell you something. And people think I'm being emotional or whatever, but when someone emails me, I'll get emails occasionally. I come in. Look, I do a radio show. I'm in a box. Sometimes you don't even think about the people outside this room that are listening to you.
Radio show.
Well, thank you.
Sweet radio show.
But sometimes I don't even think about that there's so many people listening to us. You know, I want to entertain people, but you don't think of it on a one-on-one basis. And then someone will send you an email every now and then. And I got an email recently that someone, their mother had been going through cancer and died of cancer, but for the year, this guy was taking care of his mother, and he would listen to our show every day, and he's like, I just wanted to tell you that you made me laugh in the worst time of my life.
That's sweet.
That means a lot to me, and I'm guessing you get stories like that from people that have been touched by your music.
Yeah, and I get one thing that is kind of like odd that I get a lot is a lot of heroin addicts.
Yeah.
So like even when I was in Australia, I was like signing like, you know, someone who was like 92 days sober's track marks on their arm. Jeez. You know, and you're just like, whoa, man, like that, kids cutting themselves, stuff like that. And it's weird because people hear like role model, and then they put me in the same category with all these drugs and like, oh, you know, and so they're like, how could you look at him? As I saw this one article from a show where I happened to be on mushrooms when I did the show, or no, when I was doing the show, I had talked about it, and I was like, you know, some girls had come into the tour bus the day before. But they were really like super rude, really disrespectful. Not gonna. This is our home at the end of the day, and it's an off day. We're in the middle of nowhere, or in the middle of a city, excuse me. And you know, it was an off day, so I was, you know,
wanted to relax and watch some TV.
Yeah, and have a nice little psychedelic time.
Yes.
And like I had talked about it at the show, and I said, you know, if all you guys are in, if you girls are in here, just know, I was tripping yesterday, like I was tripping balls, so I wasn't responsible for
anything that happened.
Yeah, you know, because I freaked out. They knocked on the bus and like closed all the blinds of the window. I'm like, oh my god, what's going on? You know what I mean? Like, and I talked about it, and you know, keep in mind, I put on an 1.5-hour show. I get paid to do a 45-minute show. I put on like an 1.5-hour show every time I perform. You know, make sure everyone gets more than what they came for, and you know, break my neck every time, headbanging, giving everyone what they want.
And what does the article say?
And like the article came out, and they were like, you know, I was walking on the line, talking to people, and everyone were talking about how, you know, MGK is this guy to look up to and all this stuff like that. And then he gets on stage and rants about drugs and all that, and it's so unencouraging on my behalf. Like I'm not encouraging drug use or anything like that, but I just have, I say stories, man. I tell it like it is, man. And I think that, like there's a lot of good things going on with this camp. So I don't want people listening on the radio right now to think that she sounds crazy for saying I'm a role model, because we have a lot of great things, but also, I like to also have a sweet behind the music when I'm 40 years old. Like a lot of cool stuff to reflect on.
Well, I think you're going to have a lot of stories to tell on that. Machine Gun Kelly is here. He has to run. His movie that he's in is called Beyond the Lights. There's a screening tonight, 7:30, Cinemark Valley View. Are there any tickets? If people want to go to that, is that even possible for them to do?
I think we had given a lot of tickets out to fans that had done this little contest.
It's Danny Glover, Minnie Driver, MGK is in this, and it's going to be out next week, a week from tomorrow, Friday, November 14th. It will be out. A new album will be coming out early next year. Mm-hmm. Well, have fun while. Are you in town for a few days, or are you rolling right back out of here?
I'm in town for like a whole week, except for I go to the New York premiere. But other than that, I'm just here, and I've moved into my new house.
So you may see MGK running around town this weekend. Machine Gun Kelly, thank you for coming in.
Thank you, man.
It's always good to have you here. Let me take a quick break. We will be right back on Rover's Morning Glory. Hang on.
Look here, I don't gang bang, yo. I just gang bang these.